Hello and welcome to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet Podcast, the show where we explore the infinite benefits of creating the relationship of a lifetime, attracting our ideal forever partner like a magnet, and living our best life as the highest and best version of ourselves. I'm your host, Arell Holloway. I'm the results coach, fitness expert, former real estate investor, and founder of UTAIY, Unveiling the Angel in You, and the World Impact Compound Movement. This podcast is for overachievers and romantics that never learned the art of love relationships. That was me. Anyone wanting to improve their relationships and receiving and having, as well as giving unconditional love. And the biggest impact I can make in someone's life is to teach them how to manifest their ideal forever partner. So with this podcast, I'm dedicating to help souls around the world wake up to who you really are and what you really want in life, helping you on your path of learning about unconditional love by creating significant epic relationships that generate happy memories.
We're here to learn about love. Nothing else really matters. That's the topic for today. Arell's golden nugget. Sometimes in order to learn about a thing, we have to understand or prove the opposite of that thing in order to appreciate its uniqueness and value. That's a quote from yours truly. The world revolves around love. Anything else that doesn't look like love is just the distraction from the truth. The truth is that we're here to learn about love. Nothing else really matters. Everything else is an imitation, a parody, or a mimicry, or in a simple term, a counterfeit. Love is everything. Everything that is not love is a counterfeit. If a little voice in your head objected when I said that, we're here to learn about love and nothing else really matters, then that voice has its own agenda and may be a traitor in your midst. This traitor is called ego. Ego is something we develop or even have from birth on that continually tries to assert itself as a valid voice of your internal government. Internal government isn't the way of saying your way of doing things or your program. Ego is like a parasite that lives off of us. Ego's influence comes entirely from us. We give it its power. What is ego's goal or mission? Frankly, to rule. Actually, let me go a little deeper on that. I'm about to reveal ego's greatest desire. In order to achieve it, it must manipulate, take advantage of, and use all of your abilities and strengths against you in order to convince you that you need it, that you can't live without it, that it can do a better job at living your life than you can, that you should leave everything up to ego to handle. It sounds a little bit like ego is attempting to lift a burden from us, and if we are tired and exhausted with dealing with things, then this may even look attractive to us. Think about it. A so-called friend tells us, hey, leave it all up to me. I'll take care of everything. At a certain point in our life, that can sound very attractive to take ego up on that. But it's lying to you. What is the lie? Earlier I mentioned that I was going to reveal ego's ultimate goal, or how did I put it? Oh yeah, this way. I'm about to reveal ego's greatest desire. Are you sitting down for this? Are you alone? And by alone, I mean, is it just you and me, or is it you, your ego, and me? The reason I'm asking this is that this is a conversation best held between me and you, while your ego is out running an errand. Your ego is here with us, then send it on a hunt for something that will make it look good in the end. Like, hey ego, run me this. Why you're such a good influence on me in my life. This should keep it busy long enough for me to tell you the truth. I'm about to reveal ego's greatest desire. But one more thing right before I do that. This just popped into my head when someone was defending the ego to me. They claim that ego is what protects them from their physical body being in danger. Ego, therefore, is like my protector, they claim. This is a common belief, but completely false. Ego is dependent on us, although it wants to make us dependent on it, or at least think that we are. Why would it do that? By us becoming dependent on ego would give it its power. What does it do with this power, you ask? Ego is very protective of our physical form, not because it's looking out for us. We happen to be the shell it is hitchhiking along in, and it believes, are you ready for this? Ego believes that if something happens to our physical body and we die, then ego dies, and ego is terrified of dying. So when it protects us from harm, it is merely preserving its own life, like a life preserver. Ego believes that without our living body, it cannot exist. Therefore, it will do everything and anything in its power to preserve our physical body. Okay, now I'm about to reveal ego's greatest desire without any further basis to cover. But prepare yourself, because you aren't going to like what I'm about to share with you. Ego's greatest desire is to become us and live our lives locking us up somewhere in a basement in our mind. Because ultimately, all this only works if we go along with it and become its prisoner and do as it says in command. With friends like this, who needs enemies, right? Literally, this is the worst definition of any friend I've ever heard. Yet all this only works if ego convinces us that it is our friend, that it is protecting us, and that it has our best interest at heart. True, ego has no heart, and it wants to take ours, though it wouldn't know what to do with it if it had it. The point of taking our heart is not so it can have use of it, because ego cannot use our heart. In fact, ego cannot feel anything, even if it did have our heart. Ego only wants our heart because it can control us easier when we have given our heart away and are now making decisions without our heart. See where this is going and how all this happens one little step at a time? Are you hearing me here? What kind of myth of friend is this hiding out in our mind? Ultimately, ego wants to impersonate us and pretend to be us while living our lie. This ego aspires to be the perfect counterfeit in our stead. Earlier, I mentioned that everything that is not clearly love is counterfeit. Why do counterfeits even exist? Sometimes, in order to learn about a thing, we have to understand or probe the opposite of that thing in order to appreciate its uniqueness and its value. Our role of the learning thing is vast. Sometimes learning about something isn't enough for us. Sometimes we have to get it and lose it in order to value it truly. Sometimes we have to or want to learn about the opposite of the thing we desire in order to understand its value also. Can you think of a time in your life when you wanted to learn about something and did not go directly to that thing you wanted, instead investigating all sorts of other possibilities that orbited around the thing you wanted? I'd love to hear about what that was for you. That's one way I learn about love myself, through others' stories. Why would we ever allow ego to take our life for itself? Well, it doesn't happen all at once. Ego waits patiently for our weak moments and trauma to happen in our life. Remember, convincing us that it's our best friend ever. So once we believe that and we get to our low moment, this is when it moves in. Then it will be there to comfort us while it tells us no one else is here except ego. So it starts this journey, winning us over to trust it completely into believing that it is our best friend ever. And no one ever had a better friend to rely on. Till one day, you open your eyes, you find yourself in a cold, dark cellar, alone and afraid, wondering where you are and how you got here. I hope that you will hear this before this happens to you. If you're finally hearing this while you're already locked in the cellar, then that is a tough break. Sometimes we don't know what we have until it is all taken away from us. Life, learning has many levels. You have to that is the right way. The most powerful way to learn is to learn from others' mistakes. This is a mistake I made in my life. I found myself in the cellar. Fortunately, my spirit or soul is so strong that I forced my way out and clawed my way back to my own life that I found ego was living for me quite comfortably content. Learn from your mistakes. It's so much harder to make all the world's mistakes yourself. Learning from others will catapult you to your goals and dreams much, much faster, and you'll save yourself a lot of pain and hurt. And most of all, you save yourself so much time, which is something we can never reclaim or get back. The sure way to combat an opportunistic ego and create your best life at the same time is to fall in love. Love isn't something that you look for, though. Love is something you discover within yourself. Then you nourish it, and you nurse it into a full-fledged love story. My title was, We're Here to Learn About Love and Why Nothing Else Really Matters. Here's why nothing else that's not love really doesn't matter at all. We're here to learn about love. Everything else is just noise, distracting us from why we're here, which is to learn about love. Consider what is important in a man's life. His income and how to provide for his family, how to land the perfect job and be happy with it as much as possible, finding the ideal person to live their life with, having enough saved for a rainy day or planned with target, keeping up with the neighbors and the Joneses, remembering his brother of the vendetta from him stealing their parents' inheritance and cutting him out, fear of all the wars breaking out all over the world and being impacted directly by this. Now imagine the same man on his deathbed. Which of these several things is most on his mind? 1 and 2, no. 4 through 7, no. The only thing that's on his mind is the love with their ideal person they spend their life with, which is the greatest thing on their mind. Why do you think that the love of his life is the thing he thinks about the most when his time is running out? Is it because that is ultimately the most important thing to him in his life? Love is the only thing that matters. When push comes to shove, love is the prevailing thing that we focus on when we have to choose only one. This can be the coincidence. Do your own research. Then tell yourself the truth about why you are really here. The truth about why you're really here is to be loved and to love. That's what we're not all meant for. That's what we're all meant for. Remember, the greatest quote in Moulin Rouge, the greatest thing you will ever learn is to love and be loved in return. And that's the truth. Are you ready to be the ideal forever partner that will attract your high-level IFP like a magnet? Find out how ready you are if your IFP was standing in front of you right now. Take the IFP Magnet Scorecard quiz now and answer this quick 2-minute quiz, and we'll send you a personalized report, plus a complimentary PDF on how ready you are if your IFP was standing in front of you right now. Go to www.score.arell.vision. Score.arell.vision. Usually at this time, I would go into the affirmations and declarations meditation. That has its own time slot now, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I recently launched the 2024 Inner Peace Challenge, where you can learn how to create inner peace for yourself. Automatically share it out into the world to others. Consider rewarding yourself and accepting this challenge to add this integral part of leveling up to the highest version of you. It's free and will improve your life immensely. Take this epic journey with me at wicm.love. Thanks for sharing a part of your morning with me. I'm grateful that you did, and hope that you are more self-aware and evolved since we started 30 or so minutes ago. You can shift in this short of a time. Imagine what you can accomplish in a whole day, 1 month, 1 year. In our affirmations and declarations meditation portion, that's now Sundays, we use breathing techniques that enable us to move through realms of the past, future, and the present. Within the breathing techniques, you also were able to affect your blood flow, blood pressure, as well as your heart rate, your will. You can affect your body's organ functions and your will. Imagine what else you can do or have the capability of doing with specific training. We are infinite beings with infinite possibility, and that's the truth. Have a beautiful day, and recall this experience throughout your day. And remember that you can influence your body's mood and your mind's function and change how you feel. You also learn to move through past, future, and present realms. You don't get stuck in the past or the future. You can also influence and change how you feel in any given time or moment. There are a lot of abilities that don't even scratch the surface of our human ability. All it takes is taking charge. Finally, our weekly Ideal Forever Partner Magnet newsletter is out, and unveils secret tips and hacks on attracting your Ideal Forever Partner like a magnet. Get this weekly wealth of information in one place. Just go to the ifpmagnet.com and you can sign up and get started on weekly tips, secrets, and hacks to finding your IFP. Chat soon.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet podcast. Your support helps us reach more souls in search of their unconditional true love. Check us out everywhere podcasts. Remember, you have the power to create heaven on earth through unconditional love. This is your life. no one else's. Grasp the courage to strive for the highest and best version of you